Hello and welcome to my new video. This video is about Tesla stock in 2030. In this video, we're gonna look at each part of Tesla's business and how it's gonna do in 2030. And afterwards, we're gonna look at some price targets from what has Elon said himself, from ARK Invest, from other analysts, and finally from me. I will reveal if I think Tesla is attractive deal at current prices. And yeah, I will try to be as fast as possible and not waste your time. So I have to keep looking at the clock. And for those who don't know me, I have been holding Tesla stock since 2019. I'm a stock market enthusiast, and I also have been outperforming the market for the last about 7 years. So let's start the video with full self-driving and Robotaxi opportunity. I expect full self-driving to be extremely valuable thing that many of us will use in their daily lives. But not majority, at least in 2030. Regarding Robotaxi, I don't expect to Tesla have like close to 100% market share in all taxi services, but I expect it to bring in some decent revenue. So first, let's talk about full self-driving only. I think the potential is 10 to 75 billion dollars. And in my opinion, it's gonna be closer to 70 billions. But of course, it depends on much different factors. For example, licensing. How many other manufacturers will license Tesla's full self-driving software? How many countries will it be able to operate in, legally or technically? What kind of problems are gonna be along the way? What is going to be the timeline when full self-driving becomes really safe and trustworthy? We're gonna see. But my bet is about 70 billion dollars of revenue. Now, this is gonna be very high margin because to Tesla, there's no much additional costs if they have 1 million users or 2 million users. It's software, so about 90% of margins. And for comparison, for example, in 2024, they did about $500 million in revenue. Okay, next, Robotaxi. I think the potential is 70 to 90 billions, but there's even greater uncertainty because of timeline. If Tesla start bringing out Robotaxis really quickly and they take off, it could be much more. If there's delays, if the full self-driving is not trustworthy enough, there's gonna be much less revenue. So this has great potential, but also some great risk, but I'm gonna keep it in 70 to 90 billion range, in my opinion. So, and it will have like smaller margins, obviously, than full self-driving alone. So I'd say about 50% margins. And just for the information, very soon, like within a month or something, Tesla is gonna start with 1,000 Robotaxis in Austin, Texas. So let me quickly go to the next part, vehicle sales. Now, the cheaper Tesla, the more affordable version, has been delayed, but I expect it to come out late 2025 or early 2026. It's gonna be selling for about $30,000, so much cheaper, much wider potential of people able to afford this Tesla. And it's gonna be built on Model Y and Model 3 platform, obviously, to have a greater manufacturing efficiency right away. In 2030, I expect Tesla to be still #1 EV seller, and obviously the EV market will expand by then. Elon's goal, Tesla's goal is 20 million vehicles by 2030. But I think that's very ambitious, and a lot of things need to go right, and Tesla need to execute brilliantly, and full self-driving needs to happen within not full self-driving, but robotaxis needs to happen within like a year meaningfully for, I think, the possibility of 20 million vehicles per year to be a realistic target. But in my opinion, the range is 5 to 20 million vehicles per year, but I will say 8 to 12 million vehicles. So let's say 10 million vehicles. And since there will be more affordable models coming out, and robotaxis, maybe some dedicated robotaxi vehicles, I will say the average selling price of a car will be $35,000. So it comes down to $350 billion of revenue. So let's go further. Energy. Tesla has another very ambitious goal of 1500 gigawatt hours of capacity. That would be $375 billion roughly of revenue and $110 billion of profit. That is sure a possibility, but I'm gonna be conservative here and say they will do about 500 gigawatt hours of capacity, which comes down to $125 billion of revenue and $37 billion of profit. And for example, in latest quarter, 2025 Q1, they did 10 gigawatt hours. So I'd say $125 billion of revenue in 2030. Let's go further. Let's go to services. Now there are different kind of services. There's insurance, there's service, supercharging, other smaller. So I will go off my previous assumptions of like 10 million vehicles by 2030. And for that I calculated accordingly. So $5 billion of revenue for supercharging, $2 billion insurance, $5 billion of service, and $1 billion for other things. For example, premium connectivity and another small things for merchandise even, whatever. And that comes down to $13 billion. $13 billion. The next part of Tesla's business is robots, the Optimus bot. Now this is the most difficult one to predict for 2030 because there's very much uncertainty. Mostly to do with timeline. Some people question the concept itself, but in my personal opinion it's only a matter of time until humanoid robots become very useful, and when they do, they will explode exponentially. So it's extremely hard to predict this for a certain year, but when it happens you will feel it. So for now it could be $0 of revenue in 2030, probably not zero, but not meaningful amount of money. It could be like $2 billion, maybe it's in its starting stage. Maybe they somehow manage to do a very quick process, and the AI revolution happens even faster than some of us think. But for my prediction, I will give a conservative $2 billion of revenue in 2030. And another thing, when you are making a prediction of a stock price in a certain year, you also have to know that the market is always forward looking. For example, looking at Optimus Opportunity right now, it's extremely unclear. And I doubt that massive part of Tesla's current valuation is dedicated to the Optimus Opportunity. And let's say all the things that I said come true, but the difference will be that perhaps at that point we investors could see that the Optimus Opportunity is right around the corner. Maybe when we do our projections from 2030 to 2035, then the Optimus robot will seem like much more likely thing to happen. And maybe by then people are going to price in future growth. That's why price targets that far out are very unrealistic, but it's important thing to do. We have to do this and we have to think about it. So who knows, maybe Optimus robots have absolutely zero revenue in 2030, but most of us will agree by then that in like 2 years they're gonna bring like $100 billion of revenue or whatever, and the stock price will obviously price that in. So keep that in mind. So we're come to the end of the video. Nope. We are not right now at price targets. I forgot about it. So what Elon has said. Elon recently told that Tesla, if they execute really good, brilliantly, like they have done before, they have potential to 10x their revenue. And if we assume a decent PE ratio of 35 by that point, that would come down to $1,300 per stock. So $1,300 is what we could come to from Elon's prediction. Okay, ARK Invest. Everybody knows that ARK Invest is very bullish on many things, and sometimes even more bullish than it seems possible. But actually they have been right in the past. So I will tell you that they predict that the Tesla stock price is gonna be $2,600 per share. Okay. Generally analyst predictions vary from 500 to 1500. So they are on the lower side compared to Elon's prediction, and much lower than ARK Invest's prediction. And when I put all my numbers together, and when I put, let me quickly look, 30 as a PE ratio, my prediction is about 1,500, so $1,500 for each share. And that is pretty much a 5x from now. That is pretty much a 5x. And in 5x in 5 years is actually pretty good. Most of investors can only dream of such returns. But that is what I see. You have to think about your projections yourself. You cannot just trust others. You have to do your own research. And that is like 38% of growth per year. So think of that what you will. And yeah, so in summary, I'm still pretty bullish on Tesla. I have been bullish on Tesla since 2019, and I will keep holding the stock. And what do I think of Tesla's current price? Well, if I expect a 5x in 5 years, then obviously I think the price right now is very attractive. But there's no way around it. You have to do your own research. So please do. And if you have done some projections or you have some price predictions, please put them in the comment section. So, like the damn video if this was helpful to you. Please write a comment if you think I'm crazy, if you think these numbers are absolutely insane, and please write why they are insane. And like the damn video. Bye.